HyVee Halftime Report is brought to you by HyVee in Liberty, as we're at halftime in the Cardinals down by 2 to Ottawa University. Football season has been done for, 2 months now, something like that. But Shawn Wiegel joins us here and visits with Tim Crone during the HyVee Halftime Report.
Well, Coach, it's good seeing you, Haas. I mean, I spent 3 months with you, then all of a sudden, bingo, you're gone. But you've been out of the country, buddy. You've been all over the place. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how recruiting's going?
Yeah, it's going really well. I just got back from Dallas last week.
The first one to make a
spent the entire last week there trying to get some technical things figured out. But spent the entire last week there. Coach Fig was down there as well. And, we were in about 6 different states since football season got over. And opened up a new area in Nashville we think is going to be really good to us. So, the Front Range of Colorado, just kind of the staff's been all over. And we kind of want them to have all of our road work done by the middle of this week.
Well, I was going to ask you, I know that you guys, and I know how you do it because you've kind of been a key person here in recruiting for a long time, but I know you travel as soon as the season's over. Then the local kids, how do you hit those kids and talk to them?
Yeah, predominantly we spent the first week of December locally, and local to me is Johnson County and Eastern Kansas to St. Louis.
Right.
That's
but
really
that is local for us.
Yeah, that's our local recruiting. So those are the areas we were in first. And to see those kids and get the interest going here locally before we can get out and introduce to some of the kids from outside the area.
People don't realize how much legwork, Coach. Why don't you talk about that before you get in the recruiting season? How much legwork you've got to get in so you're prepared to do that?
Yeah, there's, we're using some recruiting services and some of the contacts we have throughout the country, and especially in our active areas, that we can get a head start on some of those kids. And with social media and everything, we have a Twitter campaign.
Sure.
There's a Facebook campaign that we get started on that stuff early, so those kids get to see what we're doing, throughout the season, and some of the exciting things, we're doing within the program that you can't tell them about or see them face-to-face with. But that stuff really helps. They get to see what our family's like.
Well, you got another card in your billfold when you go out to recruit now with the new turf coming in. They officially, we talked about it before the basketball game tonight. That's got to help. That's got to help you. No doubt about it.
Yeah, it's it's exciting. It's something that we look forward to, and I think very first part of June the old stuff's coming out, and it'll take about 6 weeks to get the new stuff down, but we're excited about it. It messes up our summer camps a little bit. What a great trade-off for our program and everyone that gets to use the field as well.
Well, you'll be able to adjust to that, but like I said, all this is about when you recruit. It is about facilities and total package. Now, when you go to a recruit's home, give me the top 3 things you discuss with.
If I'm out of the area, we talk about location. I tell them we're kind of like with our location, kind of like Donnie and Marie, and a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, and they all look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, you don't even know who Donnie and Marie is, but how about a little bit Dirks Bentley, a little bit Wiz Khalifa or something? Then
that's where you're good. You keep up with the time. That's why I love you. Yeah, but you try to use our area as one thing.
You bet. Yeah, because they have all the amenities. We're in Dallas, we're in Nashville, with the same amenities that they have at their doorstep there, and and being 20 minutes from everything, and all the employers and internships and things later on. Then we talk about the academic side of things, because we kind of have a real special niche here, being a private institution that's playing Division II football. There's not a lot of schools that can say that around the country, so we can get a little higher academic standard with also with Division II scholarship football, and that's attractive to a lot of people outside of the area.
Well, and along with that, with number 2 there, is these kids get placed when they get out of school.
Yeah.
They got jobs.
They're doing great things.
Yeah, they're doing
really
great things. I mean, they're not looking for jobs like sometimes, like maybe a public institution. And of course, I graduated from one who's playing for the national championship, by the way. But but it is different for you.
No doubt.
You can get a different type of athlete. And then the third thing, just sell your booming personality.
Well, we talk about the vision. I mean, there really is a vision. We resurrect the Echoes since 1990. That's the last time we were in the playoffs. And when I talk about the Cardinal standard and our culture of accountability, that's where we're going with this thing.
Yeah, and we talked about that together after the season was over when you did your last radio show, and you showed me some things that I didn't even know what you were doing was very impressive. I don't want to put it, but I kind of got a curious question. You brought up the Nashville thing. How did you get inroads there all of a sudden? I mean, you've always been strong in Texas. you've always been pretty strong in California. Got a few guys out of Colorado, and then we work Iowa and Kansas, St. Louis.
And we looked at the schools that were really good to us in the areas we've been. In Dallas, it's
right.
Bishop Dunn, Bishop Lynch, some of the private parochial schools there. So what areas have a strong private parochial league? So that's another one that's just a natural fit for us. Why are we not spending a lot of time there with kids like that, and especially with the Dallas area that's been so good to us?
Right, and it has been good to you. You've got a lot of skill people. Okay, position specific. Of course, that's what me and you talk about all the time. Of course, I've got my opinions because, when we talk off the air, but, you've kind of got to look when you recruit. You've got to be able to, have a quarterback. If you graduate a quarterback, you got to get one coming in so you got somebody through the line to follow up. You want to talk about where you're at a little bit as far as positions are concerned?
You bet, and I won't get real specific, but you need to address your needs.
Right.
And when you reflect on a season, you say, well, gosh, how can we do all these great things and then not win as many games as we should have? And leading the conference in sacks, tackles for losses, passing things. So what's wrong? And how do we address that area? And some of it comes from us and adjustments we need to make. But, you look at those weaknesses, you have to address those first, okay? But then we're going to be very deliberate looking at probably our junior class of next year. What holes do we need to fill?
Right,
okay?
I see that.
And, you'll have sometimes that you'll have to pass on a kid. Hey, we have a stable of running backs, for instance, just to say that position, and have to pass on someone knowing that you have to fulfill a need elsewhere.
Yeah. Talk a little bit, too. People, say, well, go get a junior college kid. Well, I think in your case, as high academic as this is, you approach it a little different with the junior college kids. Not that you won't take them.
Right.
But you have to approach it different. Once you explain to the Cardinal fans, they won't get that because they'll say, because the stigma is if you go to junior college, then academically there might be some. That's not the case necessarily at all.
No, and it's like with any of our recruits, we have to do our homework and okay, what classes are they prepared through their classes that they've taken at a junior college to be successful here. Because the last thing we want to do is bring someone in here and that they can't be successful in the classroom. And that doesn't do anybody any good. And so that's really the first thing we look at. The 4-year transfers really work out better for us. They may have in most cases taken things a little more serious when they're there, and they can transfer from 4 to 4. But there's some junior college kids that will come back on that maybe we're looking for a Division I opportunity.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
Yeah, and they get there and they're like, man, there's a lot of good players out there. Right. So that's what we run into now is those that we academically qualified to be here and would have been great students. We want them for 4 years. They chose a different path, but there's a lot of different avenues to get here.
Right.
Okay,
absolutely.
If you want to be here.
And it's a great place, and like you said, a great place to sell. Got a great coaching staff. Talking about the league, it's got to help you too. And I haven't really said much about this, but the league's getting better in football. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps you in recruiting, doesn't it? I mean, the kids want to play where there's good players and good programs.
There's no doubt. And, I watched the...
Just look at the facilities, the difference, like going to Quincy this year.
Everything's new and they're not done yet.
Yeah, right.
That's impressive. It's a great thing for them. And you go to Indianapolis and they have some different things, and the atmosphere is different. So those are all things that we'll work on. But you know what you got to do, and sometimes you have to win.
You do
to get people really excited about it, and I get that. And so that's what is expected.
Well, now it's Christmas, and your staff, you're going to have any life at all, like normal human beings?
We're going to have a little bit of downtime here after this week, and about Tuesday of next week, we'll get some time away with family.
That's good.
And do some things, and so it's it's important.
Now you bring them in. I want you to, and we'll kind of close with this. You bring them in, and explain to people the process when you bring them in to visit the campus, because that'll start after New Year's. Talk about when you can, and then in the signing date's February 14th?
It's actually the
12th or
first week of February,
7th
like that.
Or something.
Yeah, and really January is a crucial time, because if it's every weekend and then every weekday or midweek, we'll have a visit as well to get even more on campus. We limit it really to no more than 15 at a time on our visits.
So you can really talk to them,
so we can get to know them and spend some time, because it's important. And being deliberate of who we're bringing in, and knowing about them, how they come back from injury, How are they as practice? How do they view practice? All that stuff. Getting to know parents and family and kind of the expectations they have of themselves. But then we'll do those overnights and we do some different things to introduce them to downtown Kansas City and things of that nature. And
that's one of our advantages. Great place. Kansas City, great town.
It really is.
You go anywhere and travel, and I get a chance to do that a little bit. Everybody loves Kansas City. So, again, good luck to you. Coach, I do miss you. It's like you've seen you for 3 months and then bingo. You're like a lot of the women in my life. You're there and then gone.
I guess I'm figuring it out like a lot of women in your life.
Hey, good luck to all the guys. Tell them good luck, and do me a favor. Tell all this sister and everybody from me and Rick both Merry Christmas, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
You betcha.